Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, the FI Journeyman. So recently I've been really busy, so I haven't been uploading any videos for the past few weeks. And today I want to update you guys on my option income ETF portfolio. I've been holding ULTY as well as MSTY option income ETFs from UMAX, and I'll tell you guys very upfront and transparently that my performance holding these two ETFs has been really bad. It really is a disaster for the past 6 months. So I started holding the UMAX option income ETFs ever since May, and as well as the MSTY also in May, and things really just took a very drastic turn for the worse in the past 2 months. I was collecting the distribution every week for ULTY and for MSTY every month, and I thought that I could actually at least break even for a couple of months, and then hopefully started to you know keep my cash flow positive after that. And I actually have a initial timeline to hold until the end of the year after the Federal Reserve cuts interest rate for the fund to recover. However, UMAX ETFs never failed to disappoint me, especially for MSTY as well as ULTY. The two option income ETFs that I've been holding hasn't been performing well at all. In fact, the performance of the two ETFs are really bad. For the past 6 months, you can see the UMAX Ultra Option Income ETFs, ULTY, has been down 26%, and the price right now is $4.56 on 11 November. As for MSTY, the price right now is trading at $9.46. My first entry to MSTY is about $20 plus, 21, $22, and it has since dropped more than half. So it has been down negative 58.89% for the past 6 months, even with the monthly distribution for MSTY. It doesn't cover the losses, and later I'll show you guys what are the losses that I've incurred over the past 6 months. Same thing for ULTY, even with the weekly distribution, it really didn't cover any drop in terms of the share price, and in fact I raked in a realized profit after selling both funds. I have since rotated my MSTY to MSTR, which is the underlying for the MSTY option income ETF. So but honestly speaking, MSTR hasn't been doing very well also for the past few months, so it's been really disappointing. I've taken 2-3 steps back in my whole financial freedom journey because of this option income ETFs. It really sucks. It's really painful, but I wanted to share my journey with you guys very transparently. Same thing for ULTY. I've since this price is really ridiculous to me because my first entry to ULTY was at $6 plus, 620, 630, and I had a mental stop loss for ULTY to not fall below $5 because anything below $5, in my opinion, is just straight up ridiculous. Um, Given that UMAX have some protective puts on ULTY, I really do not expect the price to drop so drastically. You can see it's just a pure downtrend all the way. So even though with their strategy change in March of 2025, it seems that they managed to maintain the share price at around the $6 range for just a couple of months before things took a turn for the worse. So I figured that I do not want to stay in this sinking boat anymore, and I decided to rotate the funds out to other stock tickers. So let me just show you guys the losses that I've incurred investing in these two UMAX ETFs. This is for ULTY. Over here you can see all these are the distributions that I've been getting, a total of $7,200 after 30% withholding tax as a non-US resident. And the total loss that I've incurred after selling all my ULTY um, shares is negative $9,300, almost $10,000 of losses. That's insane. All right. So with this loss, netting, adding it up to my total distribution, I've incurred a net loss from ULTY of negative 2,100 USD. So to me, ULTY after holding for 6 months, really performance really is shit. It's really bad. The performance is really bad. I would be so much better off investing my money into QQQ or even just S&P 500. I would have beaten ULTY returns manifold. All right. So moving on to MSTY, it's even a worse performer than ULTY. Total loss for MSTY after selling all my shares is a whopping negative 13K, which is insane. Total distribution that I've received from MSTY is about 5.1K, and the net P&L is negative 7.8K from MSTY. So it's just insane. So total, I've incurred a total of almost $10,000 USD from experimenting with these two option income ETFs, a total disaster for my portfolio. Some of you guys may think that, okay, why should I sell? I should even dollar cost average in and continue to receive the distribution month after month, week after week, and hopefully the price will flip when things get better. Although that might be a possibility, and also honestly, I've been holding it for so long, for 6 months, and hoping that that possibility will turn true one day, but it just seems that the price just keeps sliding. And honestly speaking, if I compare side by side for ULTY versus QQQ or even S&P 500, the divergence is just too great, and it just doesn't make sense anymore because QQQ and S&P 500 are making all-time highs while ULTY is making all-time lows, and this just doesn't make sense for me. Even with the distributions that I'm getting every week regularly, it did not cover my losses at all. So with the huge divergence between the QQQ S&P 500 versus ULTY, where the rest of the stock market is reaching all-time high while ULTY is reaching all-time low, it just doesn't make sense for me to continue holding ULTY, and I just decided that I have to put this to a stop. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense anymore to my portfolio. As for MSTY, I have rotated the funds to MSTR because I feel that if, let's say, MSTR were to recover, the price recovery for MSTR will be much faster than MSTY. After all, MSTY is a income on options, which is a derivative, and option premiums, as we know, are very uncertain because of the fact that it is a derivative, and derivative markets are generally more riskier and more unstable as compared to the underlying. So I've switched out my MSTY everything and changed it to MSTR. But unfortunately, MSTR hasn't been doing very well, also because of the lackluster performance by Bitcoin. So I'm just sitting on losses after losses, which is not a great feeling. With but nonetheless, I'm still trying to stay strong. Yeah, whatever income that I've been getting with the new fresh funds, I will probably start to DCA into QQQ for my normal portfolio. Yeah, just to do a portfolio reset. And I'll be working on that portfolio as well. So this goes to show you guys that actually just doing the normal DCA, dollar cost averaging, into broad-based index funds might be the best way to invest instead of trying out all these funny strategies. Uh, and if you ask me, I think instead of investing in the option income portfolio or option income ETFs, probably you'll be better off just executing the options yourself instead of relying on external fund managers who promise you good returns, but in the end, it doesn't show in the performance over here. Yeah, so it's a very disappointing experiment for me. Very disappointing 6 months. I lost 10 over K in this experiment. You'll be much better putting off your money in just broad-based index funds instead. All right, I hope you guys learn from me in this big and huge lesson. Very disappointing. But yeah, I'll just take whatever I learn and move on. And yeah, hopefully do not repeat the same mistake again. Just focus on investing based on fundamentals. All right, with that being said, I'll end this video off. I hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.